Hello there, Year 7. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn in a digital way, and our topic is geography. Can you see which part of Asia is there behind me on the map? Yeah, it's Southwest Asia, the western and southern part with a gigantic big peninsula. And you can see plenty of gulfs and seas in the region as well, and lots of mountain ranges. So we are going to analyze first which is which. Please work alongside with me. Open your workbook at page 40 and let's see what kind of bordering seas and gulfs there are in the region. So let's start with the first one. I just put here this little symbol. That's the Mediterranean Sea. Please write it there. You can just stop the video if you need time and you can just check the name. I hope you can see how the word is spelled. Then, see the next one. Red Sea is in the west of the region. Persian Gulf in the other part in the east, Gulf of Oman, and the Arabian Sea. So these are the most important parts there. Okay, then I would like to use this pen as well. Next one, the Caspian Sea in the north, and which sea is this one there? The Black Sea. So you can also symbolize these. The new ones were today Persian Gulf, Gulf of Oman, and the Arabian Sea. These were some of the newer names. Now, name the landscapes marked with the numbers. That is task 2. Can you see that part? And look for number 1. That is there on the peninsula, which is the Arabian Peninsula. You can see the name there. What do the tiny crosses symbolize? They symbolize that this area is a gigantic landmass and granite is the base stone. Number 2 is the Caucasus mountain range. Yeah. Number 3 is a well-known area between the rivers Tigris and Euphrates, Mesopotamia. Nowadays, there's the country Iraq there with the capital Baghdad, so Mesopotamia. Next one, number 4, is the Zagros Mountains. Actually, the Zagros Mountains is part of the Eurasian mountain range system, which is a young folded mountain range. So I hope you could just symbolize all these. And there's one more task which we could concentrate on. There are different geographical names listed here in the middle in task 3. I hope you can see that, yes. And lots of countries. The countries are Iran, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Syria, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Turkey, Israel, Bahrain, Iraq, and Qatar. So, these countries can be found on the different geographical parts of Southwest Asia, like the country of Iran can be found, let's see, in the region where there are plateaus, highlands of the Eurasian mountain range system, because this region there is Iran. Yeah, so you can just match the first one with that thing in the middle. Or let's see, Turkey on the other side. Please check that. Turkey is in mostly Minor Asia. So basically, there's the small Asian peninsula written here. I would be happier to see the word or a geographical name Minor Asia, but they use this one. So you match Turkey with the last thing here. So, in this kind of fashion, you could just continue and match the names with the different parts. And when you finish the tasks, you can send an image to me. You can take a picture of this, and then I can see this as well. Now, I'm going to change this image, and I would like you to see a presentation here. Yeah, this one. Hopefully it's going to work. Just a second. Because we need to make certain things clear about this region of the world. I would like you to have a look at this map where North Africa and the Middle East are also symbolized. We call this area the Middle East. Why East? Because it's to the east. If you have a look at the map of Europe, which is the center of culture and civilization for humanity, so this is why it was considered East. But Middle East means that it's in the mid-zone of these eastern countries, and some of the countries are listed there. We can call this area crossroads of continents, as when you check Southwest Asia, that's really close to Africa, Europe as well, and still it's part of a different continent, Asia. So this is why we have the three names, the names of the continents. Why is Turkey written there under the name Europe? Because a little part of Turkey is basically literally in Europe, and just the other half of the country is in Asia, which is the bigger part, of course, but still it's really a kind of transitory area there between the two continents and lots of Asian countries. And the climate is very special here in this region. Desert and steppe areas are typical there. And this is why some of the really dangerous and big deserts are here near the Tropic of Cancer. You know, the air flies downward, there's no cloud formation, really dry areas. Rab al-Khali Desert. The term Rab al-Khali means empty quarters. I don't need to explain to you why it is considered empty. Harsh conditions, dry weather, really arid area, and quite hot. There are some other deserts in the region as well, like Dasht Kabir, and some other Arabic words are used on the maps. So the Rab al-Khali, or empty quarter, is a large desert in Saudi Arabia. It is the largest area of continuous sand in the world. Okay? The climate is extremely arid. Few places receive more than 7 inches of rain a year, and no permanent streams exist. Summer temperatures reach as high as 130 Fahrenheit in some areas. 130 Fahrenheit and be well over 40 degrees during the day. The mountain ranges, the names are special. Taurus, the highest point is Mount Ararat, biblical name. Zagros, it is extending through southwestern Iran, and the highest point is also here, Zartkop. You can see these mountain ranges here nicely on this map. Actually, they really form a special long chain, all these young folded mountain ranges. Taurus Mountains, Elborz, Zagros, Hindu Kush, Pamir, Tian Shan. So these are the big mountain ranges there. You can also see some other names here on this map, also the names of the seas and gulfs. So if you had problems earlier when we just had the activity book tasks, you can probably see the names here on this map, so you can add some more. Okay, we just mentioned there are just temporary rivers in the region. And this is why there are really many wadis. Wadis are dry stream beds that fill with water only after rainfall. And basically this happens after big storms, when all of a sudden quite a lot of rain comes down. The population density is in relation with the climate, because the zones are really arid here in many parts. Of course, the population wanted to move towards the coastline or near rivers. You can see this well on this map. And though the conditions are harsh, this region became really lucky back in the early 20th century, when geologists found the first oil and rock oil and natural gas fields. And this is that big treasure they still have. And the Seven Sisters in the mid 20th century started the special industries here.
Who do you want to send it to?
Sorry, my Siri started working. And hopefully you could see this symbol here in Hungary a lot. So in the mid 20th century, these 7 Western oil giants controlled most of the world's oil reserves, refineries, and marketing capacity. And as you can see, the Middle East and the southwestern Asian part of the world has most of our proved oil reserves. So the Persian Gulf oil exports, as you can see, were gigantic, even during the last 10 or 20 years. If you stop the video, you can check the biggest oil reserves in different countries all over the world. As you can see, Hungary is not a significant place from this point of view. But how can they transport oil? They need these huge ships. So now it's possible to do that. And then in refineries we can have lots of different products made from rock oil, even jet fuel or asphalts for tarmacked roads, and I don't know, lubricating oils for different machines, electric things, for instance. And the oil refineries can be seen even in this part of the world these days. And because we can't live without cars and motorization is really important in our lives, it means that these countries got rich in a relatively short period of time. So if you go there, you can see gigantic skyscrapers, urban regions, and modern facilities. Some of the countries have oil rigs, so they have the production even at sea. And the leading oil suppliers, as you can see, are in the top 10 as well from this region. Now I don't want you to check these, but you can see how much they spent on these different cities there in the region. They even have Lamborghinis for the police and some other sports cars. Okay, now we are not going to check this, but this is an important image because in these countries religion is really crucial, and that is Muslim religion. As you can see, plenty of people become pilgrims every year, and they want to go to special mosques. This is an image taken there, lots of people. This is a kind of satellite image from the sky. So, the 5 pillars of Islam. Please read these. If you stop the video, you can go there. You can have the information. This is what I mentioned here, making pilgrimage to Mecca. This is a really important part for the people. Okay, so hopefully you could stop the video and you could read this. And I just want to finish the video with this image where you can see that people still have traditions and modern things and facilities. In the background, I think you can see a petrol station there, but they still use camels. So now look at page 40 in your workbook. Look at the information about the different countries, page 40-41 in the workbook. And in your textbook, page 43 and page 44, where you can find information about the countries. First, read these 2 pages and then underline all the names of cities, industries, and resources. And when you finished underlining these, then you can start working on the tasks on page 40 and 41, task 4 and task 5, 6. When you finish all these, and you underlined the text as well, please take a photograph of this double page and take a photograph of the pages here, page 43, 44. I want to see that you really underline all the names of industries and cities mentioned in the region, and please send it over to me, mihaly.istván.okasuli@gmail.com. Okay, I would like to get these materials until Thursday, so you have a couple of days to complete all this. Don't forget to read the text as well. Keep up good work. Bye bye.